Okay, what is up, everyone? DSP here yet again. I don't know how my hair looks, by the way. I didn't really wet it down or anything.
It's fine.
It's fine. And welcome to the 2014 schedule update. Now, it is the middle of December right now. And so what I'm going to do is give you a little bit of a preview of what to expect in December. I actually wrote that up here. And then we're going to talk about the games that are scheduled out for this year that I'll be checking out. Now, I have to say this, and I've been doing this now. This is going to be the beginning of my 4th year playing games for a living. Okay? And I have to say this. This is the most sparse release schedule that I've ever seen in my life. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, what do you mean? We know that all these games are coming out next year, but what I'm trying to show you with this calendar is that none of them have solid release dates. What I've put on here are games that have solid release dates and games that don't, but I'm interested in playing during those months. I've written at the top corners of those months. And you're going to see as we go through this, it is very uncertain this year what's coming out when. It almost seemed like they wanted to wait for the next gen to come out, but now that it has, no one knows when they're going to finish their games for these things. Okay? So let's give you some perspective. Let's start with December of 2013. Since we are in mid-December, I want everyone to know what's going to happen. So, first of all, it looks like on the 17th of December, we've got Assassin's Creed 4's first DLC. It's called Freedom Cry. It follows the first mate of Edward Kenway's ship. It's going to be episodic like the one last year was with Assassin's Creed 3.
Isn't that the black guy?
Yes, it is.
Ah.
And I'm probably going to check it out. I don't know if I'm going to continue to get them over the course of the year. It really depends on if I enjoy it. I did enjoy Assassin's Creed 4 much more than I enjoyed Assassin's Creed 3, so I'm hoping that this DLC will be good. Two things that I've written here that do not have solid release dates but are both heavily rumored to come out by the end of December are The Walking Dead Season 2's premiere and also The Wolf Among Us Episode 2. So The Walking Dead Season 2 is not debuted yet, but they said it was coming out this year, and it just has not. So most people are assuming that by the end of the month it'll be out, but there's no guarantee. Wolf Among Us Episode 2 is supposed to come out this month. It's scheduled to come out this month, but there is no release date. So if and when those do come out this month, I'll be playing them. And then, of course, as they come out over the course of the year, I said this before, Telltale Games is horrible at giving release dates for their episodic games. So we have no fathomable clue when they're going to be released, but when they are, I will be playing them during the course of the year. Okay? Now, this year, I have loaded myself up with quite a lot of year-end series and content that I want to work on. And the way this is going to work is that I'm going to be working on them one at a time. I'm not going to have multiple ones going at once, okay? Starting soon. In fact, as early as this week, I may actually begin starting to work on these series. So what am I going to do this year? I'm going to do the worst gaming trends of 2013. I'm going to do the worst overall games of 2013 that I play. I'm going to do a series, #DS Positive, where I focus on the positive things that happened this year. Regardless of the fact of all the negativity that surrounded me, there were some really positive changes that I instituted this year overall, and I want to focus on those in that series. We've got the best games that you probably skipped this year. Games that I had an opportunity to play, but really didn't do big in sales numbers. No one really heard about them, and I think that if you missed them, you should take the opportunity to check them out. We're going to, of course, have my Game of the Year awards. That's probably going to be the first week of January. I didn't write it down definitively, but it's probably going to be as soon as Leanna's next visit ends. We'll probably be around there, okay? There is going to be a Christmas special this year. I have something very special in store for everyone, so I hope that you'll be checking that out on Christmas Day, just like last year. And then, the best and the worst of the previous console generation. That's right, we are now officially in next gen. We have the PS4, we have the Xbox One, but I want to take some time to retrospectively look back and kind of reflect on the previous consoles, including the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, the Nintendo Wii, maybe even the Nintendo 3DS, even though there is no next gen yet of handhelds. That was a heavy part of the console
2DS.
Competition. Well, the 2DS is a downgrade. It's not a next gen thing.
Next gen downgrade.
So, as you can see, so just between this, in addition to all of that, I'm going to be continuing on with series that I'm still doing. So, for example, there's high demand for me to continue my NBA 2K14 career playthrough. There's high demand for me to go back and play Killer Instinct. There's some people who are saying, why don't you go back and do additional content? You have Forza 5, you didn't really play it. You have Need for Speed, you didn't really play it. Gran Turismo, I heard that Gran Turismo 6 is coming out, but no one can seem to tell me when. If it does come out, I have interest in it. I mean, it is next gen. It's a next gen game for PS4. Then again, I'm not heavily into racing, so it depends. It's dependent upon what I'm doing at the time. Bottom line, if it comes out in December, I'm probably not getting it because look at all the other stuff I'm going to be doing. So December is going to be extremely busy for me.
Are you going to bring back Cooking with the King?
No.
That has a lot of high demand.
It's going to be very busy. What I'm going to be trying to do is juggle gameplay with my year-end series. Because the thing is, right now I'm streaming twice a day. I can't do that if I'm going to be working for hours on a year-end series. So it's going to be a little different till the end of the year. You may see me streaming one main stream, and then later on I'm working on editing and doing a year-end series videos. I do need to tell everyone, I need your input for the funniest moments starting this week. On my forums, thekingofhate.com, I'm going to be putting up multiple threads where I need you to vote on the funniest moments of the year. You guys have nominated your favorites. You have a very, very short, limited time to do that. Again, right now, I'm going to probably put that thread up in the description of this video. So nominate your funniest moments because the voting is coming this week. Alright, now, let's talk about what's actually available to list. This is so pathetic. I have nothing I can show you in January. Nothing. According to IGN, which is just the website I went quickly to try to do this video, they have no games with release dates in January. 0. So if that's the case, I can't definitively tell you when I'm playing anything. Alright? What I can tell you is this. Leanna will be visiting that last week of December and leaving. I believe it's going to probably be this Saturday, where we haven't, gotten the tickets or anything yet. So starting this day, this Sunday, or even that Saturday night, I'll be coming back and doing new gameplay. What it'll be, I don't know, because there's 2 games that I'm interested in playing that month. Soul Calibur Lost Swords. That is a free-to-play fighting game.
Like Tekken?
Right, exactly how Tekken was. I guess that game was successful with Namco, so now they decided to make Soul Calibur the same way. So that's going to be coming out on PS3. And then you've got Assassin's Creed Liberation HD. It's the HD remake of that PS Vita game that I never even played. I bought it and never had a chance to play it. It's coming back as a full console game. I'm interested in it. I'm not 100% that I'll be playing it, but I'm interested to see if you guys have feedback on if you want to see that or not.
That's the one with the black girl that was in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the one that they had in the little computer?
Yes.
Yes.
So, I would love to say I'm playing this, I'm playing this, I'm playing this, but as you can see, I can't because there's no opportunity for me to do that because there's no game releases. What I can tell you is this. This week will be my Game of the Year awards for 2013. Okay? So as soon as I get back from time off, boom, Game of the Year awards all week, and I'm going to balance that with gameplay. So I don't know what the gameplay will be. It could be Killer Instinct, it could be NBA, it could be something else. If one of these games comes out then, it could be that. And that's going to be that month. It's going to be me doing previous playthroughs that I'm still continuing, those 2 games, and the Game of the Year awards. Now, obviously this leaves the door wide open for downtime. Because I'm sure between those 2 games and just the things I'm finishing up, it's not going to take up a whole month. So what I'm going to probably do is pick a new downtime game. I have not done one in quite some time. A retro replay per se. Or it could be a game I've never played before. And I'm mulling a few over in my head. I will be creating a poll to ask everyone what they think about that soon. But for now, it is what it is. I'm going to be picking a downtime game to start in January.
Minecraft?
Okay? No. February, again, it's terrible. They've got these general release windows for games and no release dates, so no one knows when anything's coming out. So 2 games that I'm interested in playing in February, but I can't guarantee you I'll be playing in February, are Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and Fable Anniversary. Now, one of the games that has an actual release date in February, Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns. I don't know if anyone even wants to see that anymore, because the last time I played a Final Fantasy game, all I got was negative feedback. Everyone telling me the game was terrible.
Didn't that game bomb?
In the US it did.
Boo!
In Japan it still sells like crazy for no fucking reason, but in the United States it did. Compared to previous Final Fantasy games, the game bombed in sales.
Boo!
But it is coming out. And it's really one of the few games coming out that month that has a date. Now, unfortunately, that coincides with Valentine's Day, which we're taking to take time off to spend together. So I don't know what once we have that scheduled out, I'll let you know. But I can't tell you anything yet until we get closer to it. Okay. The 2 games of the month that seem to have set release dates past that are Thief, which is the new Thief reboot, supposedly for next gen, and Tales of Symphonia Chronicles. Now, chances are, if I'm already playing Final Fantasy XIII, a JRPG, 2 weeks later, no one's going to want to see another JRPG. So that's another thing. I'm interested in it, but I don't know if or when I'm going to play it. March is again more of the same, although at least in March there are some set release dates for some games that we're interested in. Watch Dogs, which got delayed from the PS4 launch to sometime in March, who knows?
Woo!
Sometime in March you'll be playing Watch Dogs, no one knows when.
I like that game. It sounds good.
Ultra Street Fighter 4, again, Capcom. Oh, it's coming out at some point in 2014. It's heavily rumored it'll be March, but some people are saying June, but I put it on there just for the hell of it. And Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, which is the prequel game to Metal Gear Solid 5.
They have another prequel?
It's a prequel, well, it's supposed to be a lead-in. It's supposed to bridge the gap between Metal Gear Solid 4 and Metal Gear Solid 5. It's not supposed to be like a full retail game.
So it's a prequel mini game thing to the game that's not out yet.
It's a lead-in. It's like, for example, last year we had The Walking Dead, what was it, 400 Days? Which was the one single episode that bridged Walking Dead Season 1 and 2. That's what this is supposed to do, bridge the gap between the two games, but it's not a full release. It's supposedly going to be like one of those mini releases, so we'll have to see what happens.
So it's just going to be cutscenes?
I don't know. So for the full month of March, here's what we've got. We've got South Park Stick of Truth on the 4th.
Finally.
If it comes out, it could get delayed
That's
again.
True.
Who knows? We got Dark Souls 2 and Titanfall both coming out on March 11th. Now, you've got this giant fucking window. Let's release 2 huge games on the same day. Applause for those, again, those marketing people that try to plan out this shit. Fucking idiots. And Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remake is coming out in March. And again, what I'm saying here, you see the theme, JRPG, that's Final Fantasy, JRPG, that's Final Fantasy.
I know the words to the songs and I can sing for you.
It seems like it's going to be overload of JRPGs this year again, which happened 2 years ago, and now it's happening again. I don't know what's going to happen. Am I going to continue on, and am I going to play all those? I don't know. It could be that maybe I'm playing one while I'm always juggling something else. I don't know, but I'm just writing down the games that I'm interested in.
Well, sweetie, I played both games, and I beat both games. I think you will enjoy Final Fantasy X more than X-2, because Final Fantasy X-2 is pretty notorious by a lot of people as being a chick game.
Well, it comes with it. It's a collection.
It's a chick game, Phil. Trust me. It's lots of chick stuff.
And then in March, that last game in March, Infamous Second Son is going to have a worldwide Friday release supposedly, which is what they did last year with certain games like The Last of Us and Batman Arkham Origins. Now, as you can see, I have no release dates for anything for the rest of the year up to September, where you've got Destiny on September 9th. I think there may have been 1 or 2 near the end of the year, but I mean, that's getting so far ahead of ourselves. Never before have I ever done this calendar and had it this empty.
This is pretty empty.
And it's really looking like, unfortunately, January is going to be a slow month. February, we've got a couple, things in there that have potential. Well, who knows? Is Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze ever going to come out? Nintendo never gave it a release date. It's only a rumor. A lot of the games are remakes. Fable Anniversary, Tales of Symphonia Chronicles, Final Fantasy X, and X-2, they're remakes, HD remakes. So right now, it looks like the year's going to be off to a slow start. For me, it's going to be a crazy December. Me completely jam-packed working on year-end series and juggling games and DLCs and episodic things that are coming out until I take some time off, and then I come back and I do the Game of the Year awards. And then it's going to slow down dramatically as I try out some of these games whenever they come out and I juggle between other stuff that I'm already playing. Here's hoping that at least in the next month we get more information on when these games are coming out, because I've never been this close to release of certain big games and they just don't have dates. It makes me kind of wonder, is it nonsense? Are these games really not coming out and they're all going to get delayed till later this year? Does this mean that maybe all the game developers are developing games on the next gen, but they don't want to announce their games yet? I have no idea. But for now, this year is looking pretty slow, at least for the first quarter. I'll probably do another one of these either, say, come January when we have more information here on these months, or if there's a big update, I'll probably in March would be the next time that I will do one where I will try to update the next several months into the summer so that you guys have an idea of what's going on. The last thing I want to mention, I've already mentioned this in my Thanksgiving special, I'm going to be talking more and more about it over the next several months, is that next year we are definitively looking to move out of Connecticut. I need to get a bigger place, and what that means is that from time to time I'm going to be taking time out. Probably in January I'll probably be setting up with a realtor to try to get that done, which means I have to take time out of my gaming schedule to do that and start that process. It probably means that at some point in this time of the year, we'll be traveling, going on a trip to the area that we're looking to possibly move, checking out potential houses and such. And that's a good thing because you'll get travel vlogs, but it's a bad thing because you won't get consistent gameplay. But that being said, looking at how slow the year looks so far, this may be the perfect year to do what I want to do and take some time to move, because it looks like, at least right now, there's just nothing going. Okay.
You know what's kind of funny is pretty much from October, November, and December, they were jam-packed with new consoles, new games for everything imaginable, and yet the first 3 months of the new year are pretty much sporadic. So that's not good for you necessarily, but it's good for the average gamer.
All right, for the average person who couldn't afford to buy all those games at the end of the year, which is what happens every year. All these publishers rush their games out for the end of the year so that people will buy them for as Christmas presents. So for everyone who's getting those things at Christmas, if you're getting a PS4 or an Xbox One for Christmas, you're not missing anything. You've got a whole freaking month and a half, 2 months to enjoy those games. And, you know, it is what it is. They do it every year, and they're doing it again. This year in particular is slower. Last year, if you remember, there were a ton of games during this time period, but most of them suck. And that was because they were all trying to rush out new games before the end of the console generation. Now they have nothing left. So, alright, so that is it for this initial schedule video for 2014. I'll have more updates for you in a few weeks, I hope. I hope that you guys will tune into all of my year-end stuff, okay? What I may actually do for the first time, since I have the capability of doing it with my year-end series, I may, and this is just a big maybe, I may edit them and finish them and actually live stream them on Twitch first and then immediately upload them to YouTube. So like you can watch it, as if you're just available during that time, you can jump in and watch it for the very first airing, and then you can watch it on YouTube. I don't know. That's more fan service than anything, because you guys, as you guys know, I don't make a lot of money on Twitch. So for me to do that is basically just a fan service for you to be able to talk to each other and interact in the stream chat while you're watching the year-end series for the first time, especially now since Google Plus comments are fucking terrible and no one wants to chat on YouTube anymore. It's a way for you to have some social interaction during the premiere of these series. But I'll have more on that as we get closer this week, especially when I'm working on a few of these. I'll let everyone know how that's going to go down. So that's it. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you for new gameplay soon. Peace.